I'm about to get on you guys. To the opponent.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm okay. A little sore, but I'm okay.
Yeah. Where are you sore?
You know what's funny? It was my quads, but
You know why? Because you were holding yourself up a little bit because you were sitting too low. You needed to sit a little bit higher. So today I'm going to have us start out in a chair.
nice. Okay.
Okay. So do you think that's okay with people not being prepared necessarily to have a chair, or
No, just tell them go grab one. I mean, they're in their house. I would hope they have.
Yeah.
Some.
So then you want me to just tell them to grab a chair and then pause to let them get everything, right? So
Yeah, just grab a chair. And then and what I'll do is I'll wait till you say it so I can go grab it too.
Sure. Okay, that sounds good.
You know?
But you can use your bench, so that's perfect for you.
Okay. I might use the bench then.
You can use a bench and a chair, because I'm going to give an option such as, so we're going to have a chair. We're going to start seated in the chair and everything. And then if they go forward in the chair with their knees open, I want them to be able to reach forward on something else if possible. So you can use yoga blocks, for example, or you can use another chair, a bench, you know, like we have those kiddie benches that we try to reach up and take cabinets with. Or we might have a stool or another chair, right? Okay. But that's not even necessary. We can use the two blocks as our extension like that.
Okay. I'm gonna grab both the chairs and the blocks just in case I can.
Okay, great.
I'm gonna straighten this camera too.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, your camera was on yesterday.
My camera?
Your not your camera, your audio.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. Do you have two screens?
Yeah.
So one of them was on.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, because there was some sort of feedback or something.
I wonder. Okay.
Can you see my whole chair and my feet?
I can't see your feet. It gets chopped off right at your ankles. Now I can see your feet.
Because my feet will be beside the chair like this.
Yep, I can see them now.
Okay. So this one should help with that soreness from yesterday also.
Okay. No, and then I use the, like we've been going on walks every night after dinner.
Great.
And I'm not even carrying anything, but like my right shoulder blade feels like it's just like about to fall off. So I used the yoga balls yesterday and it was like instant relief.
Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm eager to show you some more stuff with those.
Okay, cool. I found one too where it was like take both of them and put them in a sock and tie it as tight as you can to lay on the back of your neck.
Yes, but you have the case that they belong in, right?
No, just the two balls.
Oh, I didn't give you a case? Oh, I'll have to get you some more.
Okay, cool. All right, let me push this back. And then I'm gonna pull everything up and I'll give you the thumbs up when we're good to go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to your 30-minute yoga session. Today, we're going to use a few props, and the props are going to be a chair. So I'm just sitting in a chair. So I'll give you a moment to get a chair or yoga block and yoga blocks if you have them. Also, we're going to use the bolster that we used yesterday. So if you have your bolster, have 2 towels and a pillow. Or if you have 2 blankets, those will do as well. So as we begin seated in the chair, I'm going to turn my chair sideways because I want you to have a side view, but you can have your front of your chair facing forward. So we're going to take our sitting bones all the way to the front end of the chair. So you're going to sit on the end of your chair with your feet sit bone distance apart and your heels right under your knees. I'm showing you the side view because it's important that you see what spinal extension is. So if we're sitting like this, that is not spinal extension, that's flexion. And anytime we're going to revolve the spine, we want to have extension. So we're going to use this chair to help us get extension, to access the low back, and to access the hips today. So we're going to release the arms beside the body. And notice that the shoulders tend to lift forward of the back. So if you see the arm from the side, most of us have the arm forward like this and our shoulder blades are way back there. So I want you to practice lifting your shoulders up to your ears, rolling them back and down, and then extend your fingertips towards the ground, firm your tricep muscle, and notice how as you reach your fingers to the floor, the shoulder blades move into your back. Your upper arm is then in line with the side of your trunk. Then notice if your front ribs push forward or your abdomen pushes forward. Reroute your buttock bones, so you're on the top of the buttock bones, and then lift the sides of your trunk. Now, as we inhale, we're going to reach the arms forward and up. The pinky fingers are facing forward, so the palms face one another. And then stretch your ring fingers up to lengthen the sides of your waist. Stretch up, but relax the base of your neck away from the back of your ears. And then if your ribs pop forward and your low back moves in, root your buttock bones down and feel space in the low back as you lift and stretch. Then release the arms back down. Again, we're going to inhale, roll the shoulders up to the ears, roll them back, roll them down, and elongate through your fingertips as you exhale. Feel the shoulder blades move into the back to lift your lower sternum toward your upper sternum. As the shoulder blades move in against the back, it helps to lift the chest and bring the head back in line with the rest of the spine. So your ears will line up with your shoulders. And then as you inhale, reach your arms forward, palms facing each other. And then stretch up through your ring fingers. Let your arms lengthen your waist upward, but re-anchor the buttock bones downward and soften the abdomen. As you exhale, bring the arms back down. Inhale, roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Extend through the fingers. Firm the triceps and feel as if the inner arm wraps to the outer arm, even though the palms are facing your body. Notice the effect of moving the shoulder blades in against the back and feel that the lower chest lifts to the upper chest. Inhale the arms forward and up. Palms face each other. Exhale, lift through your ring fingers. Keep breathing here. Release the base of your neck away from your ears and anchor the sitting bones down. Take another inhale to stretch, and then exhale, release the arms back down. Now we're going to turn to the side of the chair. So you're going to keep your chair facing forward, but turn your body to the side. As we turn to the side of the chair, our knees may end up at one diagonal because of the leg or arm of the chair. So I want you to be able to turn sideways so that your knees are pointing forward of your hips and chest are pointing forward. Then, as we find our spinal extension here, we're going to reach the arms up, inhale to lengthen. We're going to turn toward the back of the chair and place the hands on the outermost edge of the chair, or one hand on the bench behind you if you're sitting on a bench, one hand to your opposite knee. So if you're turned to the right, right hand will be on the knee and left hand on the back of whatever you're sitting on. Otherwise, holding the back of the chair, palms are open. First thing I want you to do is look with your head. Keep your turn of your chest, but look with your head to your knees and see, is your one knee going forward of the other. Let your knees be level to one another and then hug them together. And then keep the knees hugging, lift your spine upward, and then as you exhale, turn again toward the back of your chair. Use open palms rather than gripping the back of the chair, which causes tension in your neck and shoulders. Open the palm and roll your shoulders back and draw the elbows outward and downward to lift the chest up. It's like you're trying to pull down on the chair to traction the spine upward. As you exhale next, turn your ribs toward the back chair, turning the abdomen, turning the chest, but be mindful that your knees don't go askew, keeping the knees together. And then we're going to inhale back to the center, facing the front of the knees. And just take a moment, take a breath, experience that pose. Now, a couple of key things. If you're on your tiptoes because you're petite, you can always put your blocks under your feet or a towel under your feet. So you want to have your feet feel the ground. And again, your knees and hips are pointing forward. Your hips are toward the back of your chair. Hug your knees in. Lift your arms up as you inhale. Lengthen the waist, looking for that same spinal extension. As you exhale, turn toward the back of your chair, elbows wide, and bring your hands to the back of the chair. Open palm, draw your shoulders back and down, and feel how the shoulder blades move in on both sides. As you exhale, use your hands to help you turn a little bit deeper towards the back of the chair. You're tractioning down on the chair to lift the spine up, and you're using the chair to help you turn. But be mindful that the knee doesn't splay out or forward. Then we inhale back to the center, exhale and breathe. Good. Inhale, the arms reach up. Stretch up again, lengthen the waist. Let your abdomen go with your arms. Exhale, turn to the back of the chair, keeping those knees square. Open palms, roll your shoulders back so your collarbones spread. Traction down on the chair to lift the spine, and on your next exhalation, turn toward the back of the chair a little deeper. Good, then we're going to release to inhale back to center and feel the effects of the posture. Now we're just going to turn to the other side of the chair, so you don't have to move. We're doing the same thing. You can take your props, if you're putting something under your feet, and just turn to the other side. I'm going to turn my back to you. And so it's important that when we're turning, I'm just going to have you move your hips back to the back of your seat, knees together, and now we already know not to let one knee go forward or the other because that will twist the sacrum, and we're looking to access the spine. But also, if we twist like this and the head is forward, then we're also collapsing the chest and the back spine, the thoracic spine. So it's important that we find the head is back on top of the spine, which for some of you, it may feel like you're leaning back a little. That's okay. So we're going to start facing the opposite direction. Inhale, lift your arms up, palms face each other. Reach through the ring fingers, and then on your exhale, turn toward the back of the chair, elbows wide and palms come to the back of the chair. Open palm, roll your shoulders back, and traction downward to lift the spine upward. As you exhale, turn a little deeper toward the back of the chair, using the hands for support, but be mindful that your knee doesn't push forward on the outside leg. Then we come back to the center on our inhale. Exhale completely. Inhale, reach your arms up. Look for that extension. Exhale, turn to the back of the chair, elbows wide so your collarbones stay spread as you roll your shoulders back once your hands touch the back of the chair. Draw down on the back of the chair to lift the front of your spine. Head goes back on top of the spine. And exhale, turn a little deeper without letting your knee pop forward. So keep those knees aligned. And inhale back to center. We'll repeat it again. Inhale, lifting the arms up. Stretch and extend with that inhale. Release the base of your neck. Exhale, turn toward the back of the chair. Palms open. Roll the shoulders back. And lift the front of the spine. Keep the knees hugging in. And as you exhale, turn towards the back of the chair. Then on your next inhale, release towards your knees. Pause there and take a breath. Feel the experience of the pose. And then we're going to turn forward on the chair. So when you turn forward on the chair, I'm going to ask you to have either 2 blocks or your bolster or a bench, for example, if you have something else that you can support yourself with. So the blocks will be just fine if that's what you have, but if you have another chair or a bench, it can go in front of you, or your bolster in front of you. So I'm just giving you a few options. Now it's important again that our feet, our knees rather, are at the height of the hip. So if you find that your knees are down and your hips are higher because of your seat, then just take 2 blankets or your yoga blocks if you have them. And if you can reserve your yoga blocks, that's great. You can put your feet up on your 2 blankets, fold them as high as you need to get your knees level to your hips. So I'm going to fold my blankets one more time, setting your feet outside of the leg of your chair and have them right outside of the legs of the chair with the toes pointing forward. The knees will open out to the side. So now I'm going to show you one more key thing in these poses, the next few poses that we're going to do, which are the groins. If we're sitting up and we're opening our knees, so a lot of times when we do these open knee positions, we push the groins forward and we think that that's stretching the inner legs. But rather, I want you to think of this area, the most top part of your thigh, moving backward. So let your knees be a little closer than as wide as you can, right? Because notice if you go wide, go as wide as you can, the groin will harden and push forward. So I want you to bring your knees in a little bit closer so that they're in line with the outside edges of your chair. And then feel how that area softens. And you can even use your hands there with your fingertips, press the groins back deep to your pelvis. And that's what we're going to be working with for these next few poses. So now when your hands are, when your feet are supported, so the knee is as high as the hip, you want to get that support. I'm going to use these 2 blocks here for now. Okay, so from this position, we're going to scoot our buttocks all the way back in the chair this time. So scoot all the way back, and we want the buttock bones to stay down. If your feet are too low, then your buttocks might pop up like this. I'll just show you from the side. If I go forward, see how my buttocks lifts up off the ground, off of the chair, which is my ground right now? But if I have my feet supported at the proper height, the buttocks will stay down when I go forward. So you want to let the buttocks stay down as you go forward. So we're going to start out with that extension. So root down through your buttock bones, lift up through your spine, and hug your elbows back. Outer elbows wrap back, inner elbows wrap forward, and feel how that moves your shoulder blades in again and lifts your chest. Now, where is your head? Is it forward of your shoulders or chest? Bring the head back on top of the spine. Move your chest upward at a diagonal, and as you exhale, go forward. Go forward over your thighs, keeping the buttocks rooted, and then bring your hands to the floor. And if you have trouble reaching the floor, you can use your bolster or you can use blocks under your hands. From this position, the groins are moving back. So you want to become aware of that. The hands are inside of the legs and the groins are moving back. So when your hands come to the floor, be on your fingertips or some amount of height and move your upper back inward. So feel that the inner arm wraps to the outer arm. The bicep wraps forward, the tricep wraps back, and you can move your upper back inward by plugging the arms into the shoulder sockets. Then pull the chest forward, keeping the buttocks rooted down, the groins moving back. So you have extension of your spine. And then you're going to begin to walk your hands further forward or use that extra chair in front of you or the bench so the buttock stays rooted and you can extend your spine. If you have your yoga blocks and your feet are on your towels, then that's the opportunity to use your blocks going forward if you don't have another chair or bench in front of you. So you want to find that extension as your upper back moves in, inner arm wraps to outer arm. Let your ears release away from your shoulders, shoulders release away from your ears. And breathe there as you lengthen through the sides of your body. Feel the extension create space in the abdomen. And there's a feeling of the groins reaching back towards your buttock bones, and then the sides of your waist reaching forward all the way through your fingertips. We'll take 2 more cycles of breath here. Let your neck relax, but don't let it fall down and look back. Let your ears line up with the upper arms. And then feel the ears move away from the shoulders, shoulder blades move away from the ears. Feel the shoulder blades move in against your back any amount. And then walk your hands back down onto the floor to the front of your chair seat and bring yourself back upright. Pause there, bring your legs together for a moment to give your hips and groins a rest. And take a moment to breathe in and out through your nose. Now for this next posture, it's the same support under the feet, so the knees are as high as the hips. And you may use a block, but if you can touch the floor easily, you may not need any support under your hands. And that could be a bolster or any other thing that lifts the ground upward. But the main goal is to keep the buttock bones down. We're going to look forward, broaden your collarbones, outer elbows hug back, inner elbows wrap forward, shoulder blades move in, the head moves on top of the spine. As you root your buttocks, lift your chest diagonally upward to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Feel your upper back moves in so much that your chest starts to look up to the ceiling. As you exhale, keep that and hinge forward. Hinging forward with your hands on your thighs. And then bringing your right hand down to the floor in front of the center of your chest. So center the hand along the center of the chest and then pull your chest forward. Now as you exhale, you're going to turn your chest slightly toward that open leg where your hand is still on your thigh. So there's an extension of the spine. You're not rounding the upper back or the lower back to extend. Turning your head so that it's comfortable, not straining the neck. So make sure that the head feels like it's relaxed out of the spine. Shoulders away from the ears. Chest drawing forward. Good, and then we're going to release, look down, change hands. Placing your left hand directly under your left chest, right hand on your thigh now. Lengthen the spine forward, keeping the buttocks grounded. And as you exhale, you're going to turn your thicker back ribs that are closer to the floor inward toward the spine and turn your chest open. Now notice if the head is trying to look up like it's standing up. Let your head release and draw your shoulders away as the head lengthens out from the spine. And then take another breath or two. As you're exhaling, it helps you turn, keeping the length of the spine. Then we return to face the ground and extend onto your fingertips. Roll your inner arm to outer arm. Move your upper back in as you plug the arms in. And draw the shoulder blades down and pull the sides of the chest forward. Imagine that you're going to lengthen from your pelvis all the way to your chin at the front of your body. And then as you exhale, this time you're going to bend your elbows. Take them out to the side. Your hands go out to the side, elbows wide. And you're going to let your head and neck release. Take a few breaths as you lift your shoulders away from your ears. Feel the neck can release. And feel the elbows are lengthening from your shoulders. From your front shoulder, lengthen the elbow. From the back shoulder, lengthen the elbow out to the side. And breathe. Now we're going to begin to walk the hands back to the center line of your body. Lift and extend the spine. Again, upper back in, sternum forward. Then place your hand on the seat of the chair or on your thigh and come all the way up to sit. Bring your legs back to the center. Sit up nice and tall. Take a moment to breathe in and out through your nose. So now we're going to do thread the needle in the chair, and I'm asking you to use the chair to have this experience again of the extension of the spine. Sometimes when we do thread the needle standing, we can be tipped to one side or the other, or if we do it lying down, we can be curling our pelvis up. So here, I'm showing you from the side. We're going to come to the front end of your chair. And again, if you're using the support under your feet, you want to have support to lift your knees equal to your hips. sides. So I'm going to put my feet up on blocks just so that I have the knees level to the pelvis. From here, we're going to lift the knee up on the right side. So lift your right knee and hug your thigh in. For some of us, the lower spine will pull back and we end up sitting like this in a rounded position. So if that's the case, try shifting forward on your buttock bones and then pull your chest forward like you're lengthening your abdomen along the front of your thigh, and then see if you can sit up holding the thigh. Lift the thigh closer to the abdomen. And then you're going to take hold of your right ankle with your left hand. Reach down the inside of your leg for your right ankle. Lift your toes toward your knee. And then roll the knee out, thigh out, as you cross the ankle over your knee. Now notice that if your hips pull back and you round your spine again, then you may need a little bit more height under the buttocks. So you're going to allow yourself to let this outer thigh wrap outwardly. So if you see my hand, I'm going to take my hand, the thumb is going to root the outer hip and let the thigh drop open a little bit. Then I can stay upright through the spine. So once you're there, you want to feel that the right outer thigh is relaxing down. So you can relax your foot and your ankle and let your thigh relax downward. Notice that your right buttock may feel a little different than the left buttock on the chair, but keep rooting your left buttock down even as your right thigh is rolling out. So hold on to the chair now behind you and use the chair to help you find extension of your spine. Roll the inner arm to the outer arm, lift the chest, bring the head back on top of the spine. As you bring the head back on top of the spine, let your collarbones widen. Let your chest pull forward and upward. And then you'll feel a little bit of a deeper stretch in that outer hip as the thigh releases downward. Take a few breaths. Now, some of you will stay here. If your knee is higher than the level of your hip, please stay here and enjoy the progress. Others of you, if you're a little bit more flexible, you can begin to hinge forward as you hold the back of the chair. You can hinge forward, but notice that the hinge is coming from the pelvic crease. So I'm hinging at the hip crease, not at the back, not at the spine. So you want to have that extension come from the hip crease. If you can't keep the extension, you keep a hold of the back chair and keep working on extension even as the thigh is opening to the side. Those of you who are even more flexible, you may choose to come forward and put your hands on the blocks or on your extra chair or on your bench. But only if the knee is at the level of the hip do you fold forward deeper. This will help to protect the knee and the hip, as well as give you that opening in the hip and the lower back here. Now to release, we're just going to lift the knee up. So you take the knee out to the side, lift the knee up, and hug the thigh towards the belly, relaxing the foot. And then we're going to set that right foot down. We're going to push down through the right foot as we lift the left knee. And take hold of the knee with your hands, maybe interlace the fingers. Notice if you start to lean back through your spine. And so shift forward on the front of your buttock bone. Pull the extension of the spine forward and bring the thigh closer to your abdomen and then sit up on the buttock bone. You're looking for that extension. Take a couple of breaths as you bring the thigh closer to the abdomen. Then take your right hand and reach down for your left ankle from the inside. Lift your toes up so you flex the foot to protect the knee. And then cross the ankle over the knee as the leg drops open to the side. Once the leg drops open, you can relax the thigh. Now, some of you, the foot will have a little bit of a challenge coming up on the thigh. If it's forward of your knee, take your ankle with both hands and bring the ankle up on the thigh. Then encourage that left thigh to turn out at the hip crease, to descend the whole of the inner leg as if it's wrapping towards the outer leg, but keep that right buttock rooted. Staying here, reach your hands back and hold the chair. Roll the shoulders back so the inner arm wraps to the outer arm. In other words, the bicep wraps forward, the tricep wraps back. And feel the shoulder blades move in against your back. And then where's your head? Is it forward of your chest? Lift your chest up to bring the head back on top of the spine. And release the flesh at the base of the back of your neck and shoulders down away from your ears. Stay here and breathe. You can hold on as low on the back of the chair as you need to get your shoulders to release away from your ears. Now, some of you will stay here. As I mentioned before, if the knee is higher than the hip, please stay here. If the knee is open, you can begin to walk your hands up the back of the chair and extend forward, keeping the extension of the spine. Buttock bones stay rooted. We'll take a few breaths. And those of you who are feeling, wow, this is kind of intense, you can always back out and return again to the stretch. Some of you can go forward further. If you have more flexibility in the hips, you can bring your hands to your blocks or to that extra bench or that extra chair out in front of you. And find that the thigh is rolling out at the hip socket and you're not bending from your spine, but you're bending at that hip joint. Taking another breath or two wherever you are. And then we'll come upright again. And those of you who are folded forward, take hold of the front of the knee and pull the knee out to the side and then lift the knee up towards your chest and sit up nice and tall there. Good, and then we're gonna release the foot back down. Now we're gonna move off the chair and onto the floor. So we're gonna stand up, set your chair aside. And you're gonna sit cross-legged. You can actually use the chair if you have trouble folding forward. So I'm gonna show you from the side view. I'm gonna sit on one blanket or towel, and I'm gonna cross the legs, and I'm gonna move the chair out in front so that I can use the back of the chair to give me an extension of the spine as I fold with crossed legs. So when you cross your legs, as we talked about yesterday, you want to have something under your lower legs. So you can have your feet under your lower legs so the lower legs drop down, or you can sit on the bench and do the same extension we did earlier, where your knees are wide, you have a chair in front of you and you go forward. Otherwise, if you're cross-legged, have your feet under your lower legs, so you kind of cross at the middle of the calf. Then lift up through your spine by pressing down onto the support in front of you. And keep that lift as you extend forward. Walk your hands up the back of your chair. And some of you, your chin may rest on the chair, or your hands are lower and your forehead rests on the chair. So just be where you can extend the spine first. I'm more interested in extension of the spine and opening of the hips than I am in folding forward. So you want to feel that the hips are staying anchored as the sides of your waist are lengthening through your arms and your shoulders move down gently, your chest pulls forward slightly. And the head is in line with the whole spine. So if your head is looking up, you may be hardening the back of your neck. If the head is falling down, it may overstretch the neck. So just keep your head in line with your spine, the crown of the head extending away from your tailbone. And then if you can, you're going to start to rest your forehead on your forearms or on the seat of the chair. Or you bend your elbows and bring your hands under your forehead and find a little bit of support there. So when the head is supported, it cools the brain and it lets the thinking mind be at ease. Then we're going to notice which shin is in front. We're going to prepare to change the cross of the legs. So you walk your hands onto your support, lift yourself up, extend your legs for a moment, straighten through the back of the knees, spread your toes, and then change the cross of your legs. So you're crossing in the center of your shins, and your knees can descend, or you have that support on the top of your feet under your knees that we did yesterday. So press down into the chair, lift the spine, and then walk forward with your hands to keep the spine extending. Reach up the back of the chair, or up the back of the sofa, or whatever you're using for support that gives you the extension of the sides of your spine. And then let your head be in line with the rest of your spine. Take a couple of breaths into your hips. And then rest your head on your support. Take a few long breaths. Then use the support to come up, press down to lift yourself up. And then we're going to move the chair aside as you lie down on your back for thread the needle on your back. So you can have this different experience of thread the needle after having done it in the chair. So when we lie down on our back, I want to just remind you that your buttocks isn't going to curl up to the ceiling. When you bring your thighs in, if you're curling up, your buttocks curls up and you're flattening your low back on the ground, I'd rather you move your knees away from you a little to find a neutral spine. So the low back has a nice neutral feeling as you bring your knees up. So bring both knees up momentarily. Keep your buttock bones pointing forward as if you're sitting on the top of the front of the buttock bones on the chair. So your spine is an extension. Draw your shoulders back and open your collarbones. Then keep the spine in this extension as you bring your thighs in. Feel how the leg bones are moving independently of the pelvis. So as you bring your thighs in, your buttock bones point straight ahead towards whatever is in front of your feet, instead of up to the ceiling. So it's okay if your low back feels slightly lifted from the floor. Feel that as you gradually draw your thighs in, that they're moving independently of your pelvis. The pelvis is not being moved by the legs. And then place your feet on the ground. Then you're going to cross your right ankle over your left knee, flex the foot and roll the right knee out, but don't let your left hip lift towards your left waist or shoulder. So put your foot back on the floor, put your thumbs right in the crease where your thighs and your hips come together, and gently press forward there. Now keep that extension as you bend your knee and cross your ankle over your thigh so that your pelvis doesn't move, but the leg bone moves independently of the pelvis. Then as you exhale, bring your left leg up and hold on inside of the left leg and outside of the left leg to interlace your fingers behind the thigh. If you have a hard time reaching your thigh, you can use a towel behind your leg of the left leg and you can pull the leg in using the towel. Otherwise, interlacing your fingers if it's possible, and then let your left foot relax. Relax your left ankle and shin. Now from here, I want you to keep flexing your right foot and reach your right heel as if it's going to move away from you, but it doesn't actually move towards your left. So you push the right heel towards the left. There's that energy of pressing, even though you're not moving the leg. And then I want you to lean your knees a little bit over to the left, about an inch or two, and see how you can feel that stretch in the outer hip. Press the right heel forward and turn your knees about 2 to 3 inches now towards the left. And feel that you're moving that right thigh away from the right side of your shoulder. Take a couple of breaths here. Then bring the knees back to the center, staying in that figure 4 shape. And then draw the left thigh a little deeper toward your abdomen. Keep the extension of the spine, shoulders back, collarbones spreading, chest is open. And then release the left foot slowly to the floor and uncross the right ankle from the knee. And then just stretch your right foot up to the ceiling. Open the back of your knee, point and flex your foot several times. And then bend your right knee again, set the foot on the floor. Put your hands behind your head for a moment and lift your head to look down your center. See that there's a line from the nose tip to the center of your chest to the center of your pubic bone, so your hips are level. And then lower your head. Push your thumbs into the crease of your pelvis and thigh bone. So as you press your thumbs forward, you're going to feel that your pelvis doesn't move from side to side or curl up. As you bend your left knee, lift the thigh toward you and cross the ankle over the knee, much like we did in the chair. Flex your left foot. And as you exhale, bring your right thigh in before you take your hands off your pelvis and thigh connection. So you can feel that the pelvis doesn't swivel or twist to one side. Then hold on inside of the right leg, outside of the right leg, and interlace your fingers behind the thigh, close to the knee. Then keeping your right foot flexing, I want you to energetically push your your left heel, keeping your left heel flexing. Energetically push your left heel towards the right and feel how that affects your hip. Then begin to move your knees an inch to the right. Breathe there, relax your shoulders back, open the chest. Then again, start to reach through that left heel and turn your knees a little bit towards the right. So 2 inches, maybe 3 now, depending on your flexibility. But if it starts to grip your groin, then back out a little bit. Just feel that you're energetically reaching that left heel away, turning your knees slightly towards the right. And then you're going to bring yourself back to the center so your pelvis is neutral, your toes are pointing up on the left foot, and bring your right thigh closer to you in that figure 4 shape. Breathe here, relax your shoulders away from your ears, lifting and opening your collarbones so the shoulder blades are down your back. The spine is extended. And then setting your right foot on the floor, and then uncrossing your left ankle. And then just stretch your left foot to the ceiling and point and flex your foot several times. And then set the foot down on the ground. And we're going to roll off to one side. So you're going to roll to your side. You're going to come up for a moment. And you're going to get your bolster. So you're going to have your bolster support off to the side, so it's going to go behind your back when you recline. And then you're going to have your blanket or your pillow for your head. So the pillow goes on the back of the bolster, and you're going to turn your back to the short end of your bolster, and you're going to sit cross-legged. Some of you will need a little bit of support, again, under the knee, on top of the foot. That will help the thighs relax. Don't let your thighs hang out in space or they won't relax. So you're going to hold the bolster behind you, you're going to cross your legs, and you're going to start to lift your chest and recline back. So you can put your hands on the floor, turn your inner elbows forward, outer elbows head back, and you lift the chest to lie back, slide your hands down, and then lift your buttocks and move the buttocks forward towards your shins. You're going to really get a lift and tuck of the tail, and then you're going to turn your arms open and tuck your shoulders under your back. So you want the thighs to feel like they have something to rest down on. If it's your lower legs, that's great. If your legs don't rest down on your lower legs, please put support on top of your ankles under your shins to support the legs. And you have to put as much support as you need to feel the legs have something to rest into. We're going to reach the arms up to the ceiling once you're lying back. Lengthen your arms back over your head and stretch through your ring fingers to elongate the sides of your waist. And then take hold of your elbows and hold the outer knob of your elbow with all 5 fingers. So see if your thumb can untuck from inside the elbow and hold the outside. And then take a long, slow breath in and out through your nose. Relax the muscles of your upper back away from your ears so the neck is long. And just taking a few long cycles of breath. Now we're going to change the cross of the forearms so the opposite forearm is on top. And we're going to change the cross of the shins so the opposite shin is on top. So straighten your legs if you need to first to open the back of the legs, and then alternate the cross of your legs. Again, letting the thighs be supported. One side might feel different than the other side. That's totally normal. few long, slow breaths in and out through your nose. And give into the support behind you as you relax the shoulders away from the ears, even though you're holding your elbows. If you feel any pinching in your shoulder, you should bring your arms down and open the arms at a small diagonal by your side. And now everybody's going to lift the elbows, holding on to the elbows still, lift them toward the ceiling, release them down to your rib cage, and then let the arms float out to the side, palms face open, and then just shimmy one shoulder blade under your back, then the other shoulder blade. And now extend your legs straight out in front of you and reach out through your heels. Keep your heels on the floor, spread your toes, press the thighs down, and then let your legs flop open, let your shoulders relax. Make sure the pillow that's under your head is all the way under your neck up to your shoulders. And then softly close the eyes from the top to the bottom. Open your mouth, stick out your tongue, and stretch your jaw wide open. Squeeze the muscles of your face, and then close the mouth, swallow, and relax your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Feel how the tip of the tongue softens and widens toward the root of the tongue. And allow the bottom teeth to gently unhinge from the top, even though the mouth is closed. If your shoulders are uncomfortable and pushing forward, you'll need more height under your head so the shoulders can drop back and melt towards the ground. The forehead slightly above the level of the chin so that you can relax the thinking mind as you surrender, release, and let go. And let your breath do its own natural thing. I'm going to leave you to rest in this position today, staying as long as you're comfortable, 5 to 10 minutes. If you need to come out sooner, just bend your knees, roll to your side, rest on your side for a moment with your head supported, and then make your way up and enjoy your day.